Alright, welcome back everyone. This is the end of the arena season. Big congratulations to Kulik for winning it. And the game we're going to be covering today is the game that actually ended up deciding the arena season. So, for those of you that don't know, JD, who we saw last video, was neck and neck with Kulik. And Kulik had just a little bit of arena points, and JD set up the queue. And so now we're going to look at the game that he played versus Clever Fellow, who got this hand, and let's look at it from Clever Fellow's perspective to see how he played it out. So looking at this, the obvious power card is Earthcat. I see a Terractor, I'm going to go Terractor. UNMI is fun memes with Soletta and Lunar Beam. In fact, I think it could be viable, but you're kind of giving up a lot of cash there. I'm not necessarily a fan of losing 26 cash because of the Earth Tag discount here for UNMI. 26 cash is just a bit too much, I think. And I don't see how you use your ability Gen 1 efficiently anyway. So for that reason, I think UNMI is out. So we're Terractor. Obviously, we want the Earth Cat. I think we want the Ice Asteroid for sure. You can never go wrong with power. I think Allied Banks and Orbital are the two winners of the Preludes here. And now, what do you pick for the rest of them? So, I did the math, and I was thinking that we could maybe skip Power Plant, take Lunar Beam, Soletta, and Protected Habs. And if we take these 5 cards, we are 1 Mega Credit short by my calculation of being able to afford Earthcat, Soletta, Lunar Beam, which is so sad. We could wait on the Earthcat and play it Gen 2 and just except we're missing 4 Mega Credits of value. That is an option. Alternatively, you can just play Soletta, and Earthcat Soletta, and then play Lunar Beam the next gen, and then you'll get 2 heat bumps, so you're just missing 1 Mega Credit. I think missing 1 Mega Credit is better than missing 4 Mega Credits from the Lunar Beam and the Soletta. So I think the line I would do is this. I would take these 6 cards, Power Plant, Protected Habs, Soletta, Lunar Beam, Earthcat, Ice Asteroid. I would plan on playing Earthcat, Soletta, and then next generation I would play Lunar Beam. You might wonder why not Convoy from Europa. It's okay, but given that we don't have a Prelude to take the Ocean, I feel like it's likely JD is going to take the Ocean. And then 18 for a card in an Ocean is just not really that appealing. Yeah, it's a little better with Earthcat. But still, I think the card's not that great. So in this situation, I think I would skip it with having some heavier cards you want to get down. So we're going to basically be going in there with 9 Heat Prod, just taking TR as we can while having control of game pace, and then Earthcat to allow us to pivot to a more card draw engine setup if that works out for us. So let's see what Clever Fellow does. Okay, Clever Fellow does not like the Soletta pick, and more interestingly, he does not like the orbital construction. Instead, he takes self-sufficient settlement, which I think is, it's not great. Yeah, I mean 2 MC prod, but I'd rather have the extra 12 cash in the early city, which can just be griefed by my opponent. But alright. Allied Banks and settlement on the card. Yeah, I'm not in love with that placement. It's not the worst. Card is good with Earthcat, but just you're not near any ocean rebates. You're not near the good plant rebates. I would probably not put the city in that location. An Aquifer Pumping's not really the card you're looking for. JD plays Experimental Forest and gets Kelp and Grass, so that makes our Ice Asteroid and Convoy a little bit worse. We don't want to play Oceans into his Kelp farming here, so we're going to need to be careful to play around that. And Metal Rich Asteroid. He also revealed Mining Expedition, AAA, Windmills, Dev Center, Ironworks, Comet. So nothing too major. It's important to realize Comet and Dev Center are out of the deck, so we don't really have a need of floating energy at this time. So Earthcat into Ice Asteroid. Okay. I don't like this play at all, to be quite honest with you, Clever, because, well, yeah, it's very valuable to get the 2 cards and the 2 titanium. You're playing right into the kelp farming. I would not want to do that. If anything, I would only do Convoy on the 2 cards and just draw 3 cards and that's it. keep the oceans away. Putting 2 oceans down towards that kelp farming spooky stuff. Let's see what we draw. Okay, Media Group is very nice, and Psychophiles is good too. Can't complain about that. Alright, JD is Vitor, so he has to fund, and he funds Landlord, which makes enough sense with the kelp farming in the grass. And he also plays Space Elevator, so I guess he's looking to sell off his steel from the metal-rich asteroid to fund that. Yeah, Psychophiles comes down, no-brainer. I love that Media Group is just one mega credit. Would you like 1 mega credit card that gives you 3 mega credits back every time you play an event? Yes, please. I love it. It's fun when the discounts stack up. You get to see some silly things. Alright, JD plays that molehole area, and I'm a little surprised he spent all of his steel. So, does he have another source for his steel, or is he going to put molehole area on 2 steel? I think 2 steel is not great. If you put your city over here, you'd want to go over here. So, yeah, 2 steel. I think that's wrong. I don't like that play. Okay, power plant into Media Group. Media Group's okay. I would not be interested in doing it ahead of time, though, because what you're essentially doing is you're telling your opponent, I really, really, really want event cards. And if we don't have any pressing events, like we need to play an event into a conversion, we have no plants, so that's not going to be happening, then I don't really see the point in going ahead and revealing that early to him. I would try and keep that information secret. Likewise, I would not be playing Power Plant here either, because Dev Center is already accounted for. And with Dev Center already accounted for, that means we don't have a reason to be floating this power, like I said before, which means now we're just susceptible to getting energy tapped or power supply consortiumed. Well, if he had 2 power tags, but point stands, energy tapping can still hit us, so I would not have done this power plant either. But JD passes, so we're good, and we go on to the next one. Holy cow! We have 4 Earth tags, and there's a Miranda Resort right there. Quantum's cute, but it's gotta be a Miranda Resort here. That's sick. Maybe we get research back. We're not that upset if we get Quantum back either. Okay, Advanced Ecosystems is a really strong card. We already have the Psychophiles for the harder to get microbe tag, and they'll help pay for it, so I think Advanced Ecosystems is a no-brainer. But he picks Corporate Stronghold, which I'll be honest, I think this is overvaluing production. And it does help fight landlords, so I will give him that caveat. But in general, just losing our energy to get -2 victory points and just 3 mega credits, it's just not that good. The only way it's like defendable is if it gets us Mayor, but I don't see the reason to fight that hard for Mayor here. But yeah, we take the research coordination, definitely Miranda and research. I would not buy corporate, but I would have picked Advanced Ecosystems. Let's see what a clever fellow does. Yeah, he does buy corporate. Yeah, Lunar Beam, definitely better when you have a Miranda Resort. Yeah, that's 10 MC Prod Gen 2, pretty good. I don't really see the point in Protected Habs. It can always get better. You have no plants. There's no reason to rush it. I think we wait on Protected Habs. Speak of the devil. It's an energy tapping. I don't want to get tapped. However, I also do not particularly want to give him a science card like Solar Wind Power. I think that is one of the scarier things that we could do. So I'm inclined to still take the Solar Wind Power, even knowing that he probably will tap us. Just because, yeah, I don't want to give him science. Okay, well, he's also cutting science. I just think this is maybe not one of the best ones. Ooh, okay. Ooh. This is spicy. I see a power grid, and I see an ore processor. Do you think that JD would have enough presence of mind to cut the power grid if we took an ore processor here? And then we play ore processor, and power grid, and there's an ore processor, and just take away some of the oxygen? That's a cute idea. I think I would do ore processor as my first pick. Hope he, excuse me, doesn't have the presence of mind to cut the power grid and then take power grid. But let's see what happens. Simbi Fungus. And what? Okay, no, that makes sense. He took the solar wind power because he's looking for a science tag and gave us back energy tapping. Well, we're definitely going to take energy tapping. Simbi Fungus is just bizarre. Like, yeah, I see the psychophiles, but it's so far away. And I think the power grid has a lot of value with already having 3, guaranteed to get one back in this draft between energy tapping and solar wind power for 4, and then the power tag from power grid is 5, so I think that was very valuable. And then power grid came back. No! Oh, it could have been so good. And the energy tapping too, and oh man. I think I'm still tempted to buy this power grid. That's 4 power for 19. That ain't bad. Take my lab as well. I think symbiotic fungus is not good enough. Honestly, Radchem ain't bad. If we're going to be playing Corporate Stronghold, I'd probably buy Radchem. I think I'm going to say symbiotic is not really that relevant to what we're doing. Yeah, he seems like he agrees. Oh, if only we had solar wind power and energy tapping, dude. Alright, convoy for what? 2 plants? No, a card. Okay. It's drawing 2 cards, but I think there's more impactful things to be doing here. Well, imported nitrogen's great, and sponsors is great too. Okay, well, can't be too upset with that. I do like the Corporate Stronghold placement here. JD has put his greenery right here, and so by putting your cities here, you're kind of making things really awkward for him for his conversions, unless he wants to convert up here, which is not such a great area. So I do like that. Hate we're waiting on this power grid, though. Okay, JD has Mars U. This is why science tags are scary. MedLab is harder to play early than Solar Wind Power is, which is another reason why I think Solar Wind Power was the better pick over the MedLab. Because now JD's just going to slap down that Solar Wind Power and cycle a card, whereas MedLab for just 2 prod, not so good. Yeah, and there's that energy tapping. That's why we should have taken energy tapping over the Simbi. Okay, rad suits and sponsors is nice. Got to play both of those. Yeah, solar wind power, cycling a card. Selling a steel. He's out of steel. He needs to find more steel somewhere. And we're passing. Okay, we gave him... Oh my gosh, look at these power cards for Power Grid. He has Mars U, so we gotta cut the Trans-Neptune probe. Yeah, I agree. Hackers alert, anyone? JD is very poor in terms of his production. He's got money, but I mean, Space Elevator can solve some of his problems if he finds steel. But honestly, 10 cards in hand, no production. This is kind of a really interesting hackers. I'll be honest. I would be tempted to play hackers here in this position. Okay, Radchem is completely fine. That's the responsible play. Hackers is the interesting play. Nuke power, probably better. We know we gave him an ore processor. GHG is pretty far away. It is a science tag for Mars U, but I'm going to say I think the power is more relevant. Did we play it for power grid memes? Probably not. The -2 is kind of painful. And we're already going to be getting 4 power from power grid. Oh, okay, we're buying all 4. Wait, what? Why are we buying the micro mills? I guess the heat prod for 4 isn't bad. Okay, JD is Alright, the Moss I get. The SP Ocean, he's just trying to force this kelp farming. Dude, I definitely would have hacked him there. Okay, Radchem Factory at this point I think is a little too early. Yeah, you're getting 2 production and 2 points, but it's coming at the cost of your power. I think power earlier on is more valuable than the 2 production is. Like, you wouldn't play a card that says lose 1 power, gain 2 mega credits, right? And that's it. Like, it's not very good, in my opinion. JD's done. He's got nothing to do. Just SPing Oceans, trying to work towards his kelp farming. Okay. What I would definitely not do in this position, when you have a discount of -2 to everything, is standard asteroids get the heat prod. I get that you're taking it from JDE, but still, That's a little much. Micromill's not looking too bad with that plan, though. Gets you up to the 4 heat prod, which is nice. And nuke power, too. Sure. Okay, birds is by far the most impactful card here, especially when we already have imported nitrogen. Clear birds for me. Yeah. Lava flows is a tile to fight on the landlord that was funded. Helps us a little bit with Thermalist, perhaps. And maybe JD gives us back the space mirrors, and then we could play it with the power grid for the memes. Okay, urbanized area. Really? He took industrial. Alright. He took industrial microbes because of the steel prod for the space elevator, which is just another reason why spending all that steel early was a mistake, I think, because he had enough to fuel him for several gens, and now he's just kind of stuck here, having to get a steel prod for Gen 6. It's a little bit late. Anyway, urbanized area, and probably keep it. And he gave us the space mirrors back. Okay. See, this is why I need to be careful and why it's better I review these games as opposed to playing them. See, this is where I like the memes too much. Having played thousands of hours of this game, you start to look for stupid meme plays instead of necessarily the best plays. Space mirrors into power grid here is a whopping 6 power prod. I'm doing that. You better believe I'm doing that. I'm buying all 4 and I'm playing space mirrors into power grid. Okay, skips urbanized area, which I wouldn't do with landlord funded, but I'm proud of you for taking the space mirrors, my friend. Well done. Lava flows on steel's funny to take steel from JD. 2 plants is probably the responsible play. Yeah. JD raising the heat up. Grass is online for him now. Oh, he's doing it. Space mirrors at the power grid. Let's go. Grass is played. Oh, he's got NRA. Okay, well done to JD. That's one thing that I think a lot of players make a mistake on. Of every gen where they don't have something to do, they feel like they have to spend all their money. Here, JD ensured that he was going to maintain enough money to be able to play the NRA once he played grass as well, which is important because that 4 plant prod is very impactful. Makes that SP Ocean a little more sus as to why he did that when he had NRA and should have just sat on that money. But hey, you got it down. Gen 5, that's pretty good. Makes a lot of sense why he funded Landlord. JD's got a decent position, though he is still getting outproduced by quite a bit. Oh man, the fusion power memes with the power supply consortium, dude. The power is just all in this game. IO seems too weak and too far away. I do not love giving JD fusion power. I also don't love giving him Search for Life. He has a science tag regardless. However, I lean towards Search for Life. Because what I imagine happening here is Search for Life, he takes Power Supply Consortium, we take Fusion Power, we've effectively denied him the science tags, and we can even play Fusion Power. It ain't that bad. If we did it the other way, we take Fusion Power, he takes Search for Life, we take Power Supply Consortium, or Power Supply Consortium, Search for Life, Fusion Power, either way. It works out alright, but it gives him a card cycle, and I'm not really a fan of giving him card cycles with Mars U and getting up to the 3 science tags. Okay, Power Supply is still fine. Definitely take card draw in this position. The other cards... No! I know we got Media Group, and I know he's trying to get Steel, but no! Dude. Take the card draw. Alright, I as a bait, I would take Fusion Power here. No joke. Nice. What? Hold the phone. JD took stupid SF Memorial over the card draw? How is that possible? I don't understand that at all. Like, I honestly don't. What is SF Memorial doing for us that repetitive card draw is not? Anyway. I'd buy all 4. JD keeps all 4 too. Alright, converts on the steel. He's going to be selling that for the space elevator. It makes sense. gosh, we are cooking on the power here. 12 power prod. We do have Builder locked up. JD probably has Gardener. And then Terraformers hotly debated between the two of us. Oh, he takes Planner now. So Planner, Gardener, and we get Builder. I think that's what's going to happen here. Yeah, Search for Life with the Mars U. That's why I wanted to not give that to Vitor. Alright, we take Builder. He plays the Microbes, which, I don't know. I think if you're converting here already, you just ride that wave for a little bit personally. But whatever. Business Network draws a card. Oh, it's a Physics Complex. Let's go. 12 power prod. And we get to play Physics Complex now. Sick. Because heat's already going up kind of quickly. And JD has a lot of plant prod. So we don't want to push the game to an end where JD just gets to steal all the points here. We need to slow down the tempo a little bit. Still take some of the temperature track. But having an opportunity to just get 2 VP each gen, amazing. I wish we could play it, but we can't. So I would just Power Supply Consortium him. Yep. And then you can raise heat. Yeah, bush. He doesn't have enough of bushes, so it's fine to raise heat. And we are done after getting our Psychro. Dude, Mass Converter is sick, but Towing a Comet is really impactful as well. Gets us a conversion. Heather ain't bad. As much as I like Mass Converter, I am tempted to say it is a bait. However, I see we're at 3, 4, 5. We can turn on the Mass Converter, which is really funny. Just the problem kind of becomes, and then what? Right? We already have the Physics Complex. What do we need another 6 power for when we're already at 13 power? I think it's too much of a meme. I think Towing a Comet is the correct pick, especially with Media Group. Okay. You know, my friend, I won't judge the memes. It is a very funny meme. I just think it's too much power. If we had power infrastructure, 100% I'm taking the Mass Converter, but without that, just not good enough. I don't think JD actually wants asteroid mining. I think he might want the house printing. Carbonate. Okay. Carbonate makes sense if we're looking at funding Thermalist, which I think we probably should, but I don't think it's a priority for us. He takes Towing a Comet. We'll take Heather. Yeah. Guess Heather and Mass Converter. Carbonate, I don't think makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's Thermalist fuel, I suppose, but so what? Why do we need more Thermalist fuel? It already looks like heat is by far the leading parameter here. Asteroid, again, I think it's not so great because of how much heat is a leading parameter. But we have Media Group, so it's 15, but then we get 3 back, so it's 12. We get 2 titanium, so it's 6. 6 to kill 3 plants and JD is probably enough. So yeah, it's fine to take. And he just rips it. Okay. It doesn't prevent JD from getting a conversion, which is why I might have waited to see if we find like optimal. But it's fine. Okay, so a fun possibility here, which did not occur because of the asteroid and the Physics Complex, is we could have gone SP City and Claim Mayor. That was in this position, right? Because, yeah, JD is probably going to get Gardener, but he doesn't have to get it immediately. We can just immediately SP City and then Claim, and Mayor's ours. And that is honestly kind of tempting when our hand is not so great. He's winning on the plant prod, and having a 10-point flip like that is just really strong. I think that's what I would have done. As much as I like to joke about SP City being bad, I think in this position, SP City, just to take the milestone, is quite good. And then we can SP greeneries between our cities, and we're kind of cooking. I kind of like the position there if we had the milestone flip. Without that, and with JD getting Gardener, I'm not so excited, but I think our position's okay with the Physics Complex. What? IO Mining Industries? JD's actually playing IO Mining Industries Gen 7 with this setup? That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think that's correct. I do not think that is right at all. Okay, playing Probe to get on a mass converter, sure. Raising Heat, you can, but you're kind of conceding the Ocean to JD perhaps? A little risky. Carbonate at least ensures that we get 2 heat bumps so we don't have to SP anything, and then Heather's free with Psychrophiles. Oh, dude, Lake Marineris right here with Ocean Max. Like, yeah, it sucks about the kelp farming, but that is such good value. You gotta take the lake. Yeah. Robo Workforce on the Med Lab, not bad. We want to cut the science tag anyway. This is 5 MC prod. I like it. You know, if Bribe Committee gets us 3 back, so it's 5, but then get 3 back, so it's 2 for 2 prod, I'd play Bribe Committee here. I know Anthracite likes to clown on me for talking about Bribe Committee is a decent production card. He says it's totally wrong because Sponsors is good because it has the Earth tag. Bribe Committee is not because it doesn't count towards the Earth tag. But I think even he would admit this is not the worst Bribe Committee. So I would buy 3. Alright, wave power 2? Sure. It is a victory point, but I don't think I'd have done wave power. What the heck is he doing? Is JD really that bold? He's saying, I want the ocean? Like, now we don't even have to SP a city. Now we can just Lake Marineris and take Terraformer. Or Bribe Committee for Terraformer. Even better. You know what? Yeah, I forgot that actually that works for Terraformer too. I like Lake Marineris a little bit more, but yeah, Bribe Committee is even better when it gets you the Milestone. JD underestimate his opponent there. He should not have thrown that Milestone. That IO mining, delaying the Gardener, getting baited by the Ocean. Yeah, not worth the 10-point swing, JD. That was not good. Artificial Lake, so 6 oceans. JD has kelp farming online, so not a big deal to play Lake Marineris now. Methane from Titan. I don't think it's that good, but there's worse things you can play since we got a kind of empty hand, but I would skip it as well. Funding Thermalist, I think, makes a lot of sense. I don't think JD had a lot that he could fund either, to be fair, but I like funding Thermalist. Lagrange with the Mars U, so yeah, definitely putting a little pressure on Scientist. I would still play Lake now. I would not raise the Heat, because that invites fish to maybe hit us. We don't want to invite that for no reason. Same thing with there. I wouldn't raise it to 4 because farming and mangrove. There's just no reason to raise the Heat to these upper levels at this point. I do like Lake a lot. That is quite nice. We can now convert to... oh, we got trees. Trees is nice. We can now convert and we can look towards pressuring the 8-degree mark there. Robo on the money, yeah, 22 to 4. We're looking not bad for taking Banker as well. As much as I don't like funding Banker, I think it's okay here. Yeah, wave power's alright. Okay, since our opponent played TG, I mean IO, I would not pass him TG. The rest of these cards are just not good enough. And honestly, I'd keep TG. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 for 32. I would do that with 2 cards in hand. So TG here. Sabotage? Dude, it's not worth the sabotage. Yes, I get it's free for you, but don't give him a card like TG for sabotage. There's no way that's right. Well, GIA. Okay. Not to be fair, GIA is not that good. Heat is mostly taken care of. Ocean's mostly taken care of. We have protected Habs. Yeah, I'd say whatever to the GIA. I'd take the Mag Field Gens. It's 3 points. Yeah, it takes some power, but we got power to spare. Honestly, we funded Thermalist, but we have 27 heat a Gen compared to his 6. I think we'll be okay. I think Caretaker is pretty good. 21 if you consider Physics Complex. So 21 to 6, yeah, we should still be okay. I would take Caretaker and play it. I definitely think it was a miss, though, to give him TG. I think we should have taken TG over Sabotage. We have effectively infinite money right now. I like raising the heat to make the GIA less impactful. Here is an interesting question. Do you convert the heat again, or do you leave it? So by converting the heat again, you are missing out on Caretaker contract value. However, you are taking a point away from JD, but also remember there's that 8% bonus there as well, which JD might try and get. If we can snipe that, then we can not use the heat for the temperature, and we can instead use it for Caretaker contract, which is honestly not even the worst play here. And I think based on that, I would wait on the heat. 1 VP swing, sure, but he might try and greet it anyway, and then might have an avenue to take it. Sabotage, I mean, you could hit his Titanium. I'd probably hit the money, but Titanium's fine since we passed him TG. SP City seems horrendous in JD's position. That's all your money. Yeah, you're getting 10 mega credits back, but still, that's all your money just gone like that. You gotta do it at some point to score, but it just feels so bad to do it here. Strip mine for the bump. Let's go. Okay, that's funny. I don't think it's good, but that's funny right there. Oh, he's going to do it. Oh, he got the bump. Correct to save the heat. Boom. 8 degree snipe. Oh, that's hilarious timing to get that there. Space elevator, fine. Physics complex is good. That's very nice. And Caretaker 2. So we need to be careful because Thermalist is now... We have a lead, but it's not that much of a lead, right? We got 13 to his 6, so we're getting +7 each gen, but we're only 4 away. Like, we got it, but we just can't go ham here, or else it could get a little spooky. I honestly can't believe he kept that card. I don't know why he took that over the consistent card draw. Okay, AMC. JD is looking like he's trying to play some Joes, and so that TG might come back to bite us here. Caretaker for a point. Indentured into Quantum. Okay, I guess JD is making the push now to try and fight Thermalist, which... I think it's a lot of money being spent for not much gain. I don't think that's a good play on his part. I think when you're as money poor as you already are, you should not be spending so much fighting an award that your opponent already has mostly won. That being said, -4, we're starting to play with some fire here because our lead is diminishing a bit, but we're still in enough of a lead that I think we're okay. Okay, playing the mine's a little wild. It does help on miner, so I think given that he's kind of infinitely rich right now, it makes enough sense to hedge against a potential award fund that JD could do with his space elevator essentially 4 to 3. It's not really something you want to spend 20 mega credits on, but something to keep in mind here. Okay, import is nice because of Thermalist, but with Media Group, I think you gotta take investment loan. No, I think that's a mistake. I think you really don't want to do that. Even though it is Thermalist, the money is too important, especially when JD's as broke as he is. He has Mars U. I think you need to take the research. It helps firm up the Scientist Fund. If you give him research, make Scientist Fund an opening for him. Tech Demo is probably the better card for us, but I think because of the Mars U and because of Scientists, I think you're supposed to take research here. Correct. Black Polar Dust is a way of getting more heat in Last Ocean. Biomass, I don't really care if he takes a minus point here. I would probably cut the black polar dust just to ensure he doesn't annoying. Don't think I would necessarily play it, mind you. I would take livestock. I probably wouldn't bother with import, but it's not the end of the world. And I would take research, I think. Livestock isn't like amazing, but it's another point scorer here. If it doesn't end this gen, then we can go a little bit more. Yeah, I like it. Research draws us viral enhancers. Oh, baby. That's so good with livestock and birds. And now we can even play the viral enhancers to get a conversion. That's a sick draw. Okay, he has Olympus Conference, so very good that we had the research and he does not. Shuttles, trying to take advantage of Vitor's plan in order to just try and get some VP. JD is down by 11 points right now. Really down by 5 points if you include his 2 greeneries, but then we get our greenery for 3, so down by 8, I guess is fair to say. So he doesn't want the game to end too easily because then he could just lose. So he's going to try and drag this out a little bit. So we can convert there. I wouldn't convert next to Noctis City myself, though it makes some sense because that one plant helps us with imported nitrogen in order to next gen get a conversion. But I would have converted over here instead, next to my city on one plant. Doing it next to Noctis City with Noctis not accounted for is just potentially handing a point for no reason to your opponent. Okay, I think Magnetizer might be pushing it a little bit here. Yes, it is points. However, we have Miner kind of nicely defended, and I'll be honest, I'm getting a little worried about Thermalist here. We're already spending 8 plus 6, 14 of our heat each generation. He's getting 9 heat. Like, we're still winning it, but we gotta be a little more careful and spending even more on Magnetizer. I mean, it's kind of free, but it's spooky. It's a card you might keep for like the last gen play. I don't know if I'd play it here though. Okay, tech demo with Mars U Olympus draws him a bunch of cards into Capital. Capital ain't a very good card. Place it here or here. Either one's defendable, but probably here for more ocean rebates with your greeneries. Yeah. Clever fellow. Playing things dangerous right here. It is 26 to 34. You got it, but it's getting scary. Search for Life hits Aos, it misses. Livestock is a good play. Downside of the livestock, though, is it does mean the imported nitrogen is not a conversion anymore. Though we could use ants to maybe help make it a conversion. Okay, imported nitrogen, just to go ahead and get the TR. Honestly, in this position, I like just, with JD passing, I just like SPing some greeneries here. So I would do my best to just take his greeneries and make it so that his conversions here are not worth very many points. And that kind of leaves him with much fewer avenues to score here. And yeah, perfect. I like the SP greenery a lot. That helps fix the issue from the livestock. Now we can open with a conversion here and probably SP another greenery here and just keep hammering away at the O2 and make it so JD doesn't get much. Okay, this Magnetizer, definitely maybe a little much, but whatever. Okay, you gotta take the optimal arrow breaking. These cards don't matter. Heat's already maxed. We're winning Banker by a pretty long margin. I would not expect JD to fight that efficiently, but Thermalist is getting a little close, and I don't like giving him optimal. Acquired Company is just nonsense. I honestly don't understand why you would buy that card and pass optimal when you were so concerned about the heat prod previously by taking something like Imported Advanced GHG. Definitely will give him a science tag with card draw there with Mars U and Olympus. Good. Yeah, these cards don't matter. Just like Acquired Company didn't matter. Optimal was the only card that mattered there, and I hate that we just gave that to JD. That could bite us with the Thermalist, I'm afraid. Yeah, conversion. Go ahead and do another SP Greenery. Card draw's wrong, but that's a good enough card. I'd buy it and play it, perhaps. We got so much money and not much to do. JD converts and converts. He sees the writing on the wall. We can just end here. Okay, commercial district there. I like. Dude, this caretaker contract is making me nervous, especially when we just passed the optimal arrow breaking. JD's drawing 4 cards. That's a little spooky. But we're up 20 points. We're up 20 points. I think, we can. I don't know if I'd play Inventor's Guild even. I think I would just like SP Ocean, SP some greeneries, play birds, and just look to fund like Banker or something. Like that would be my generation, I think. JD creating a 3-point city spot for us even. That's awfully kind of him. Okay, there's that optimal arrow breaking. We do need to be careful. Okay, SP City, not in love with the play. Just 2 points. Down there is 3 points. But in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Birds is fine. Okay, ICS is a good point scoring card for JD, and now Thermalist is flipped, but it will unflip at the next day. Just taking animals. JD is stalling. Inventors Guild. Okay, I don't love the Inventors Guild, but we can still SP an Ocean. No, we can't with the Inventors Guild played, right? Because that's 16. We're at 18. Sell Ants for 19. We're 1 mega credit short now of funding Banker, so I think this Inventors Guild was a bit of a mistake. Okay, JD does investment loan, which is definitely why we should not have given it to him as well. Decomposers is nice, but a little too late. Not good enough. I would not buy it. SP Greenery, no! Oh no! So, for full disclosure, I do know this is going to happen. I watched this game live, and he then typed in the chat after he made this SP Greenery play, "Oops, I forgot about the Ocean." So JD just got tremendously bailed out. I don't think he had a way of overcoming a 20-point lead. But now that he has a whole nother generation, it's possible. We have to be careful about Thermalist. Thermalist is flipped, which is why the scores look closer than they are right now. But I think JD has a chance now, especially with that TG that we passed him previously as well. JD probably has to fund Miner. He is losing Scientist. He's losing Banker unless he's got some, super blammo card in his hand that would let him flip one of those awards, which I don't see happening. He kind of has to YOLO fund the Miner and hope for the best. Oh, and JD just played Ganymede Colony. So he's going to Joves. Great damn. Ants is played. It'll be worth a point, but it ain't that good. SP City, kind of a weak city, but it's fine. Converts between them, playing around Urbanize. Noctis City, that is why I would not have put that greenery there, but fine again. And he funds Miner. Search for Life does not hit a microbe. Okay, so it's getting neck and neck. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I would not give him another Jovian. That seems like a mistake. One of these plant tags will come back, and it'll be free with the Psychrophiles. So I would just cut Vesta, though. Yeah. I'd take Algae, the other card. Oh, actually, no, Titanium Mine. Yes, good thought, clever fellow, because Miner is the fight right now. We want to do our best in order to fight Miner, so Titanium Mine helps us do that. I like it. Plantation is good. I like Plantation. Yeah, you can buy 3 actually, and we play the Vesta to help fight the Titanium and see what we can make happen. Yeah, I like it. JD with large convoy, so that is... Luckily, JD does not have an animal, so this is just the last Ocean, but it is some heat to make Thermalist a little bit more uncomfortable. SP City right there. I don't love the SP City placement. I think if I were to an SPA city, I would do it for 3 points down here. Now, if he has mangrove, it gets a little more defendable, but yeah, I just don't love the placement personally. Okay, we SP a city here. I think that's fine because it's 1 point already, but crucially it has this steel right here, which we want to snag. So we should definitely put the plantation right here and just grab that steel to fight on the miner. We skip the action though, and JD converts to 4 mega credits there, and converts for 6 mega credits there. So he's got some money, but he's still down to just 29 mega credits. Kind of poor still. We're just taking our animals. It really is nice that we just have the passive points like this. We have the 2, 4, 5, 6, though 5 and 6 is a little dubious with Thermalist. But 6 points to Jin compared to JD's like 1.5, 3. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, converting on 2 steel, very important. That helps lock up the miner, but just double checking here. But let me call this out real quick because I forgot to call this out. Look at this. 4 titanium on the large convoy. I don't know if he has TG or something that he's wanting to play, but I would be very hesitant to just spend the money on that convoy now because of the miner fight. If I could have held on to it to see what happens. Maybe he has mineral deposit and it's defendable, but just gotta be careful with the miner fight now. Okay, Space Hotels is not a play. Business Network restricted area takes away a point, and it's a mineral swing, so yeah, I like restricted area. Noctis Farming is Vitor's, sure. Okay, Plantation, put it right there on the steel. No, 6 cashback is nice, but the steel is most important, but it's okay. SP Greenery there, and it's fine. Okay, restricted area is fine too. Just put it on the steel down here next to his city. And then what is that? What is that? You hit your... It's the right idea, the steel, but put it next to JD's city. Why are you taking a point away from yourself, dude? Yeah, that's a clear mistake. Okay, there's the mangrove, so the city there makes a little bit more sense. Media archive, so money coming in. Physics does get 2 points. Equatorial is fine. It doesn't change the heat anymore since it's the final generation. Okay, there's that TG I said we should have kept, but even with that, we're winning Thermalist. Miner is flipped, but let's look here. I see 5 minerals for JD and 7 for Clever Fellow. So I don't think Miner is going to work for JD here. Search for life whiffs. Permafrost is not really a card. Correctly plays Titanium Mine without the steel to help fight it. Okay, Greenhouses is another conversion. I'd have put it there if I could have, just secure that steel. Vesta's played in SP City for 3 points. Makes sense. It doesn't do anything. JD's done. And yeah, there's no way to flip Miner back. So JD took the gamble, but having to play that Titanium, I think, made it so that he was not able to close it out. So Miner's flipped for him. And Thermalist, despite all my misgivings, is still ahead by 5 heat. If you'd asked me how much we'd have won Thermalist by, I would not have guessed 5 heat, but I guess that's the power of Physics Complex and Caretaker Contract for you. So there you have it. Clever Fellow with the 8-point victory over JD. This caused JD to lose like 38 arena elo, and so he went from being like 1 point behind Kulik to dropping 38. He then queued up another game, lost that, dropped another 38. He claimed he was so tilted from this game that he made some bad plays. And to be fair, his opponent also opened up with a Gen 1 AI and drew all 4 Jove Molts. So, you know, these things happen. You just don't want them to happen right at the end of the season. So with Clever Fellow's dramatic upset, getting his 38 elo and using the forbidden Physics Complex for 12 points combined with the Caretaker Contract, combined with Equatorial Magnetizer, he pulled off the dub and secured Kulik the championship without Kulik having to engage in any more last-minute races with JD to try and get the final spot. And so with that, that is the end of the game and the end of the arena season. Again, congratulations to Kulik for winning the arena season. We'll see how it goes next season. My understanding is it's the exact same format. I would have liked to have had random maps instead of being stuck on Tharsis this time, but that option has still not been enabled by the developers. It's been requested, but it just has not been enabled. So if those of you watching this video would like to have random maps as an option in the future, I implore you to please go and vote for that suggestion in the suggestions section on Board Game Arena. And if we get it up high enough, maybe we can make that a priority and get some random maps as an option for the future so we can play on all the amazing maps that we have on BGA. With that, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week.